There's one standout challenge. I mean, consistency is the challenge. As a young group at the moment, we got a lot of pressure from below. So we've got a really strong squad. We bat reasonably deep for spots. So we've got some pressure from below. With that comes guys really wanting to put their best foot forward and at times trying too hard. Sometimes we actually need to get them to pull the reins back a bit and just say, let's do the basics right. So with that comes a lack of consistency, and that'll be our challenge. And we saw that throughout last year. We had some fantastic games where we put 4 quarters together and we were able to get, some really high quality wins against, some of the best competition there is. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that consistently. And that's probably one of the areas we've seen a rapid improvement in this pre-season.
He feeds it wide, little push May.
We didn't have Matty there last year. So to have him now, training really well, he had his first full hit out with the group where we actually had full contact and basically matched him last week. And he stood up and showed, again, we talk about that dynamic movement. He's got that back. He feels good about his body. That gives you that mental strength. And he is one of our best first possession inside midfielders. So he's going to now, we're really keen for him to step up and help guys like Harry Schoenberg, who we mentioned, and Luke Pedler and those sort of players. And I've got no doubt he will, because one of his weapons is his on-field leadership, which, again, we didn't get to see last year. When you're not on the field, it makes it hard.
Heads long inside 50, and Dawson plucks it with one hand.
We knew Geordie's game. I'd obviously watched him for his entire career at Sydney. So we knew his footy. We knew the way we wanted to play footy and where we're looking to develop as a group. But the most important part of all it was we knew Geordie was an outstanding person. So that's why we went after him. And we knew that if we could get him introduced to a number of our people that we're looking to put together, that he'd realise that we're of the same character. So the people was the most important. We got that opportunity to sit down with him and talk about who he was as a person, get to know what he does away from footy. Ultimately, he's come in as improved our group off the field. He's improved our group on the field. Probably that's been the biggest space. What he has brought on the field is, he's an experienced player. He's been through a similar process at the footy club he was at, where they were a young group, they were developing. He's seen how quickly things can turn around. So from our point of view, we couldn't be more pleased to have him as part of our organisation and a really important member of our team.
The Seedsman has almost got this kick in him. Danced inside, ran to 50, blasted it long, brilliant.
He's going well. Look, I can't speak for him, but what I can say is in our conversations, he's going well. He's understanding that it's a challenging space. It's a really delicate space because we're still learning a lot about concussion, and Paul took quite a knock, and so he's he's progressing really well. He's taking 3 or 4 steps forward, and then he'll just have a step back where maybe he just pushes it that little bit too hard in a session, or we reach a threshold where he just needs to sort of calm things down for 24 hours, and then he bounces back again. So look, the trend is upwards. He's trending well, but we're in no rush at all, and Paul knows that as well, and he's of the same thought process. This is one we're going to take precaution around. We're not going to take any risk, and then it'll just be a matter of what we see is 3 days where we think, oh wow, he's a chance to really get back into full training before we know it, and then we'll just have a little setback. And when I say setback, they are little. There are times where it's just small headaches, and then he'll fight back through that. So we're still consulting with a lot of our guys, doing a lot of work around the area, consulting with a lot of experts, and we'd hope to see Paul back as soon as possible. We come in with a number of goals. They're broad. We've got a lot of specific goals we look at as well, but on the whole, we're looking to fast track the development of this group and get ourselves back into finals contention and fight it out against the best teams in the competition. Last year we didn't get there. We didn't get that done. Were we disappointed as a coaching group? No. There was some fantastic development across the group. So we were really pleased with the way the team connected, the way they gelled, where we got to at the end of the year. Even the last round, and we played against North Melbourne, so it's bottom v second bottom in the end as the season finished. But we felt both teams were in pretty good form coming into that game. North Melbourne had their tails up, and for us to finish the way we did was a really good sign, that we're going to continue that into this season. And it wasn't just team, there was a lot of individuals. We've already talked through a lot of the names where, guys like Chase Jones were able to find their game that we'd seen them play as juniors, that level of confidence that they were able to build in themselves. And so with these individuals becoming more confident players, all of a sudden we're going to become a really strong team quickly, and we'll become more consistent with our performances.
Ring the bell! Ring the bell! The bell in the city of chances! What an upset!
If you talk to our supporters and they have a feeling of pride when they leave the Oval, it's when you knock off the unexpected. We were able to beat Melbourne at home, and Melbourne go on as the best team in the competition and win the premiership. That was a game where it gave us a lot of belief. But again, I'll come back to, you're only as good as your last game, and the last game we played of the season, for us that was really important that we performed in that game, that we came out and played the way we wanted to play. And sometimes it's not necessarily the game that the outside think is a standout game. Sometimes it's one where we actually play with a method that we walk away and we look at the tape and we say that's the way we play our footy, it's our DNA. And I felt like we did that towards the end of last year. We probably got a lesson from the Bulldogs in Ballarat, which sort of got us back on the right track, and then we finished reasonably strong throughout the year. So that's going to hopefully put us in a good spot coming into this season.